a high drive to right. It is out of here.
And welcome, everybody, to the glorious episode of the Put on Giants podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSB is my Twitter handle, so check me out there. And also, you can check me out on Put on Waivers _ podcast on Instagram. So check me out there. So we got some Giant stuff on there as well. How's everybody doing today? The Giants are not playing well right now. They've had a really bad homestand, lost 2 out of 3 to the Guardians. Then they end up winning 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. Should have swept the Red Sox. And then they lose all 3 games to the Marlins. The Giants are 23 and 28 since 2017 against the Marlins. The Marlins are always just a horrible matchup for the Giants for whatever reason. But I'm going to go right to the White Sox because we can just wipe the slate clean and go right to the White Sox. The White Sox, getting to know the White Sox here real quick. Let's just go with their offensive stats. If you go by how many runs they've scored, the Giants are 16th in Major League Baseball in runs scored. The White Sox are third to last in runs scored. All these games will be played in Chicago. So you have that. As far as hits go, the White Sox have the least amount of hits in Major League Baseball. You have that. As far as doubles go, the White Sox are 19th in doubles, so not as bad for them. And then you have, let's see here, for triples, the White Sox are 25th in the league. Home runs, the White Sox are third to last in Major League Baseball in home runs. And then RBIs, they are, as you can imagine, third to last there as well. Another important stat is strikeouts. They are, let's see where they are in strikeouts. Strikeouts. They strike out the eighth most in Major League Baseball. So, let's see if they are stolen base threats. As far as stolen bases go, the White Sox are 17th in Major League Baseball and then we'll go to batting average real quick, and then we'll end it there. Batting average, the White Sox are the worst batting average team in all of Major League Baseball. So the Giants go from their home in San Francisco, Oracle Park, to go face the White Sox, and now it's like, okay, don't walk anybody. If Lynn and Root today, don't walk anybody. Because the team you're playing today has not shown that they are a good offensive team, a even remotely decent offensive team. So I think a lot of the biggest issues the Giants had against the Marlins and against the Red Sox was the walks. It's like when you walk people, the old adage goes, you can't catch a walk. That's basically an error on the pitcher. Like a ground ball that goes through a second baseman's legs, that's an error on him. But like that's an error on the pitcher, and you cannot like walk people over and over again. Root has done a great job with his curveball. His curveball, I think people are batting 175 against that curveball, so he needs to continue to set that up. And I think the Giants could be in a good way as far as that goes. I mean, would they like? I don't want to say the S word in this series sweep because they have to go. They have to just get back on track and just win this game. Win this game today. Win this game today. Roop is probably Roop. I think winning Roop today will be on his pitch count as well. So he'll be on his his limits, his innings limit for the season. So I'm not sure how much the Giants are gonna continue with that. I've heard they're gonna Winston Hunt is maybe on the horizon, something like that. I know Giants fans are excited to see him come up to the big leagues and things like that. But at the end of the day, like I definitely want to salute him because when he got the starting nod over over Kyle Harrison, got the starting nod over Hayden Birdsong, I think a lot of us were like, well, who the hell is this kid? And he actually pitched better than both of them. He was more a consistent start. He had that one blow up game against the Dodgers, but he's pitched way better. He's pitched absolutely. He's pitched the lights out compared to what those two have done. So I think he has control. I think he has been a solid pitcher. Besides the Dodger game, that was it, and he's kept the Giants in games, and that's all you can really ask for. So we'll see what Roop can do today against the against the um, against the pale hose, if you will, out there in Chicago. There's been some back and forth arguing with Giant fans whenever the Giants lose, and it has to deal with Mike Yastrzemski. Everybody gets all personal and everything like that. So real quick, real quick, I like Yaz. I think Yaz is not a. Um, I just feel like Yaz is not an everyday player. I think the goal for the Giants was to have Yaz and Encarnacion platoon. And I think when you're a guy who is not an everyday player and you're kind of forced into that role, then you see the warts their of their of their abilities. They don't come through with in a sacrifice fly situation. They may make an error or misplay a ball in the outfield. Like he's a solid major league player. Yes. But I think people have this like little he can do no wrong in San Francisco Giants lore, and I think we can need to relax with that part of it. He's a good player. He's a good player. I don't think he's an everyday baseball player. I think he'd be better served if he was in a platoon situation. He has been on a little bit of a hot streak. He's not the prototypical leadoff guy, as you saw in some of the at bats yesterday, where he's just where he's kind of he's literally swinging and fouling off balls that are like almost hitting the plate, and instead of taking the walk. Like that's something where you have to worry about like that. But I mean, when I look at him as a leadoff hitter, I look at him as just a guy who's just going to hack his way on. He's gonna rip a double, hit a he's gonna be a guy who maybe occasionally hits the ball the other way, gets on any way he can. I don't look at him as a guy who's gonna be like a prototypical old school on base guy. He's gonna get on base with his bat. That's the way he is. He's not up there looking for a walk unless the guy is like completely crazily wild. His place in the order is vital to the Giants though. It's really vital because he's hitting in front of Devers. And when you have situations where the bottom of the order might get something going, and it's two outs, he has to kind of keep the line moving. So when Devers comes up, Devers can come up in situations where he can get RBIs, and he's not leading off the next inning consistently. So that's really important for him just to get on base to keep Devers, because you got to play the infield differently when Devers at the plate and somebody's at first base or second base, opposed to the big shift that they have for Devers going on there. Devers has some serious power. I mean, in the loss yesterday to the Marlins, you don't see very many home runs at all hit where he hit it in Oracle Park, and he got jammed on a ball that was high and inside, and he almost hit it out the other way, and then the ball ended up being a double off the wall. So, he does have some serious power, and hopefully, his hitting will continue to get better with the Giants. Let's see here. As far as the Matt Williams things goes, I really don't know I don't know what to say about it. I mean, really, I don't know. That is such a that game was a game that you kind of needed to steal when you're not playing well. So them stealing that game would have been great in this series. It would have been losing 2 out of 3 rather than getting swept. But I don't know what he. I think Matt Williams must have. He had to have forgotten how many outs there were. He had to. I think that's the only explanation for him sending Lee home on that play. He had to have forgotten how many outs there were. I think he thought it was 2 outs. That had to be it because that made no sense for for Lee to be sent on that play. That made absolutely made no sense. And he was out by a mile. And then you had Koss coming up, I believe, and he already had a sack fly in the game. I was joking. I was joking with a buddy of mine, and I was just calling. I was like, Koss is Freddie Sanchez, because he's been ever since uh, ever since they set down Fitzgerald, he's been phenomenal. He's moved over. He's moved over for third. He's moved over to third, and played a really good third. He's showing off a really good arm. He's hitting doubles. He's getting sacrifice flies. He hit a home run, um, in his in his first stint full time at second base. So, you know, he's been way better than it was when he was platooning. So maybe some guys just need to have that situation for them pretty clear for them so they can strive. But he's been really good, so hopefully that continues. The Giants have yet to make a move for Schmidt, who got hit on the hand. Schmidt has been one of the hottest Giants hitters out there, and that has just been that was brutal to watch that happen. And hopefully he's okay. But they haven't brought up they haven't brought anybody up or anything like that, or haven't made a move yet. I've not seen him. I'll just check right now while I'm talking to you. I've not seen him get put on any IL or anything like that. So that's always a good sign. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything with the Giants in him right now on from any of the beat writers. So that's always a good sign. Giants are gonna also option Sean Jelly back to Sacramento, and they're gonna bring up Carson Seymour from Sacramento. So we will see how that goes. Hopefully that continues to be help the Giants get some arms in here. And then I know people are waiting for Wesley Hunt. We'll see if Wesley Hunt makes an appearance real quick. Jung Ho Lee, I think that's a guy who I'm a little concerned with because it just seems like he is he has occasional power, but like he's a left-handed pull hitter without a lot of power. And I haven't seen him. I don't see him use his like ability to bunt a little bit. I haven't seen him bunt at all. I haven't seen him hit the ball the other way at all. I mean, so he really pulls the ball. I mean, it's gonna go right center to the foul line. I mean, that's where his hitting window is as far as that goes, and I think it's just such a tight hitting window that I think it's gonna be tough on him to get things going. People are just pitching him inside, and he's just lining the ball to the second baseman. He just can repeatedly. And I mean, even the triple he had, I think it was a triple, but it was also a misplay. He hit the ball really hard. He's had some good exit velocity on somebody's balls to the outfield, but yeah, he's really it's really something where I would just say something to watch for because that adjustment that the league has made to him after his hot start when he was hitting 333. That's something that you gotta look for because he need the Giants need him to be a little bit more versatile offensively and start hitting the ball the opposite way. And if he can use that speed because I think he has a little bit above average speed as far as that goes. So again, I am kind of worried about that. I'm not sure where Adamas is going to hit in this lineup, but I mean, obviously Adamas had that nightmare game where it was a nightmare game, but it was just tough to watch him, hit two balls that are were at the warning track with the left fielder up against the wall where he could have been the hero in that game, and we wouldn't be even talking to about Matt Williams, but he's hitting the ball well right now. You want that to continue. The one thing about you when you start going to the Midwest and East Coast cities, the weather is warmer. The ball's going to fly out of the ballpark a little bit. Really important for the Giants. Giants have not done a good job in the first three innings scoring runs. It's just everything has been like fifth inning and on. That window in the game, you can't just like not get anything ever. they're not getting anything, any kind of run. So it'd be nice to get 2 or 3 runs in this game. And they're not facing any big time pitchers in this series. So we'll see what happens in Chicago. I think that's about it. But I do. I mean, obviously, hopefully, Schmidt can get back on the field. I think the way Koss is playing right now, it'd be nice to get Koss. Um, you know, um, to get Koss, in the field, playing second or third, and continuing his quality at bat. Because I think every time I watch Koss play, I think he's been given a quality at bat. You want to hope that continues, and then we need Schmidt back on the field, especially with Matt Chapman down. We're down to our third baseman. It's just really sick. I will say one thing too, because I know there was a lot of people talking about the Giants have been getting hit repeatedly. They've been getting hit repeatedly by the opponent, and now they threw at one of the Marlins. It kind of got everything tense, and then what was a one two, what looked like it was a 1-2-3 inning ended up being a inning where he hit a batter, he walked a batter, and then gave up a 3-run homer. Um, the Giant the pitch when Hayden Birdsong was on the mound, like I get that moment probably kind of maybe shook him, or maybe it was the first time he was ever he was ever asked to do so, to, to, to throw at a hit to throw at a hitter. But I will say that he has to be able to pitch in a situation where there's 2 outs in the first inning, and one and a batter and a runner at first base, and get out of the inning. Like that situation did not cost the Giants the game. The Giants didn't throw strikes. The Giants were walking people. The walks were the most egregious thing in the world. The walks. And then I think also the disturbing thing in the series with the Marlins was how many two strike hits they gave up. Like that means you're not putting the pitches where you need to put them. And a lot of pitches, a lot of these games, a lot of those hits by the Marlins were with 2 strikes. So they have to be able to, to evaluate those situations and be able to put the pitches where they need to put them. So the ball is on the ground. The ball is, they got to give their team and give their team the opportunity to make plays in the field. Instead of, they were just putting those things right down the middle, and they were getting ripped all over the place. So that's something where I think the Giants definitely need to. It was basically only a couple games. Hopefully, that's not something to see in the future, but for sure that is a that was a problem this weekend, or this week with the Marlins series. But Marlins are always a pain in the ass for the Giants. Hopefully, they can go to Chicago and get things going. All right, put on Giants podcast. We'll see you guys next time, and hopefully the Giants will get things going. Not going to panic just yet. Not going to panic just yet. Let's just get through this series here and see where the Giants go. And shout out to Carson Seymour as well, coming up for the Giants, and we'll see what he can give. Maybe that bullpen a jolt in the arm. All right, peace.
Lee hits a high drive to right.